Tonight, I want to talk as plainly as I can.
Get your words straight, Jack.
I know that in times as polarized as these, most of you have already made up your mind, but maybe you're still not sure which candidate you'll vote for. So let me tell you about my friend, Joe Biden. What I quickly came to admire about Joe Biden is his resilience.
Come on, man.
His empathy. Joe is a man who learned early on to treat every person he meets with respect and dignity.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
That empathy.
But look, Fat, here's the deal.
That decency.
You're a damn liar, man.
The belief that everybody counts. When he talks,
we hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
when Joe listens, and he's got the character.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
We should expect a president to feel a sense of responsibility for the safety and welfare
Mom, you can wait. Come on, Dad. Okay, here you go.
of all 330 million of us. We should expect that regardless of ego,
And you want to check my shape on? Let's do push-ups together here, man.
ambition,
I was a Democratic caucus.
but we should also expect a president to be the custodian of this democracy. And in my friend Kamala Harris, he's chosen an ideal partner.
But I also believe, and it's personal, and I was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
Who is more than prepared for the job.
Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
And who's made a career.
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Along with the experience needed to get things done, Joe and Kamala have concrete policies.
Look, you sound like Obama sounded to the immigrant community in 2008.
Okay.
And immigrant families were deported. 3 million people were separated. Now,
I know, but
around Obama, I campaigned for Obama because I had hope and I believe
Okay.
in promises that he made.
Look.
And we want to hear you apologize for those 3 million deportations.
Joe knows the world, and the world knows him.
Hey, everyone. I'm Joe Biden's husband.
He knows that our true strength comes from setting an example.
Look, come on, man. I know you're trying to goad me, but, I mean, I'm so forward looking to have an opportunity to sit with the president or stand with the president in debates.
I myself, just don't tell anybody I told you this, especially don't tell Joe Biden. I don't think that there should be any debates.
A nation that stands with democracy, not dictators.
The fact of the matter is the ability to identify a moderate middle in Syria there was no moderate middle. Our allies in the region were our largest problem in Syria. The Turks were great friends, and I have a great relationship with Erdogan, which I've just spent a lot of time with. The Saudis, the Emiratis, etc. What were they doing? They were so determined to take down Assad and essentially have a proxy Sunni-Shia war. What did they do? They poured hundreds of millions of dollars and thousands of tons of weapons into anyone who would fight against Assad, except that the people who were being supplied were al-Nusra and al-Qaeda and the extremist elements of jihadis coming from other parts of the world.
What I know about Joe, what I know about Kamala, is that they actually care about every American. They believe that in a democracy, the right to vote is sacred.
Well, you should vote for Trump. You should vote for Trump.
And that no public official, including the president, should use their office to enrich themselves or their supporters.
I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired.
They understand that political opponents aren't un-American just because they disagree with you. Wait. A free press isn't the enemy.
Have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken the test. Are you a junkie?
What do you say?
That our ability to work together to solve big problems like a pandemic depend on a fidelity to facts.
We choose truth over facts.
And science.
We choose science over fiction.
Tonight, I'm asking you to believe in Joe and Kamala's ability to lead this country.
I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental, my physical as well as my mental fitness.
And by voting like never before for Joe and Kamala.
And if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.